Many people imagine that having a huge awakening is like the most enjoyable experience of their lives, and it's like one single moment, and then everything is going to be great. But in fact, it can actually have very negative after effects. And this is exactly what I would like to talk about today in relationship to wishing that it has never ever happened to you. So, the experience itself, the Kundalini awakening, was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. It was so different, and I talk about it in a different video. I don't really want to repeat myself, and I'm going to leave a link below to it. But after that, so many things have changed about my thinking. My whole belief system got smashed. And many people believe it's like one experience and you are different, but it's like it's just a starting point, and more things keep happening. And my new experience was that anytime I try to put myself together, it's like love just smashes me again into a million pieces, and I have to start it all over again. And it's like you get to a point that you don't really know why you are doing it. Like, what's the point of putting the puzzle pieces together when you know that it's going to happen again? And it's just you get exhausted. And this video doesn't want to tell you that this is something that is definitely going to happen to you, because everyone is going to experience it very, very differently. And unfortunately, I don't have specific answers what to do. This video only aims to share minor experiences, so you don't feel alone. You don't feel that you are crazy, or you don't feel that you are the only one who wishes that you never ever had this experience. Or to be probably more precise with the sentence, is that I actually wish that it has happened to me when already lots of other people had this. So there would have been some kind of a map that, okay, what is normal, what is not normal, what is happening, what is going on, what should I expect? So, um, these are kind of the questions that some of you might have as well, because your whole world, it's not just smashed apart, it's keep getting smashed over and over and over and over and over, and this is going to be your life, because this is actually reality, that it's like these two energies going against each other. One of them destroys and the other one creates. And then because it's a paradox, it's the same as well. That whatever creates actually destroys, and whatever destroys creates as well at the same time, all the time. And this is how we are changing all the time. This is how the awareness changing all the time. And this is how you become a type of being that is changing all the time, but yet at the same time, because it's a paradox, remains exactly the same. So, for example, in my case, I went to even see a therapist and then another therapist to see in my brain, because the therapist I was seeing didn't say I was crazy, and honestly, that would have made me feel normal being crazy, because it would have been a lot easier to accept that all of this was not normal compared to that it is. And when I went to see a different therapist to see the actual brain scan, what was in my brain, because I was like, okay, maybe it cannot be figured it out by talking. So a machine will know. And I have big hopes for the machine. But the fucking machine let me down. The machine said my brain was very, very normal and extremely healthy. And that was a huge step in the back again. And I had multiple brain scans after that. And I was always hoping that maybe this time it will show. Maybe the unbiased machine didn't see something, but no luck. So I had to accept that I'm normal. And I would say this was a very, very difficult part, that how can my brain be normal if I don't feel normal, if I am too different? And probably the biggest difficulty in this is that um, I can never go back. I can never forget all these experiences that happened to me. And the only thing you can think of if you are going through the same thing is that eventually we all have to go through this. And maybe you experience, so this is what I know, that um, we all have to go through exactly the same things. So there is no exception. This is equal for everyone, that it has to be exactly the same. So it's very likely that just because you are not aware of other realities, in reality, all of us actually go through the exact same thing, that we experience it individually, that we are the very, very first people, I would say, who become more aware than others and experiencing the distress um, of it, that there is not much to relate to anymore. And probably in other realities, we are the very, very last people to go through this process, or whatever process. So this is the difficulty in it, that we are just so disconnected from the awareness of our versions, that we cannot really know what is happening. The only thing we can do is that just keep going forward and remain open. And of course, many people are not going to experience this stress. So, again, like, we are all individuals and everyone is going to experience it very, very differently. All I know is that in this reality, there are around 2,000 people as of now who are at different stages of their awakening. So probably the most logical thing is that we share what is happening so other people can relate to it. And the other thing you can do is, like, this was something that I have been taught to do, and this is kind of, I am actually at this stage now that I'm forced to do that, take a rest. So I always, that's a problem. I'm too much in my head, trying to see things through, trying to find even more patterns. And even when I don't try to do, I still get patterns. Um, but this has happened probably a month ago, or maybe a little bit longer, that automatically with the entities I have been talking to, that's why I don't talk to Kai Young either now. I stopped the channeling because I was told that I was shut down. So even when I try to think or communicate, I got a shut down in my head, and that was scary. Like, when an outside force is able to kind of put a block, like, that's like, someone scientifically should really explain how that can happen. But the communication I received was always the same, that you have to really rest now and do nothing. You have to rest. and that's something that kind of goes against my personality, that I'm more like a go-getter. I like to get things done, and let's get over with it, and let's get to the end of things. So I'm not really this, yeah, sit back and just wait around to things happen, and I don't know, the fried chicken flies into my mouth kind of thing. I wish I could give you a better advice, but the truth is that we are all running on an algorithm. So we are all part of this one system that is running on a core algorithm. And it's a self awakening system, which means that we have to become aware on our own, and we have to help each other to become self aware. And some people are going to trigger you in a way that you are going to experience negative impulses or negative emotions. But those are signs that those parts are unhealed or unprocessed or underdeveloped. And certain people will be able to help you in order to see where to go, which direction, because they have already done at least something, or maybe they can share something with you that which way not to go. So at the end, we all depend on each other. See you in my next video.